Operation Mirth was something I saw a bunch of my fellow comedians, Colin Quinn included, going over there and telling jokes, and they would come back and they would say it's very rewarding. And I said, you know what, my grandfather, Sal Caprio, was a World War II hero, and I wanted to just, I know I can never be a hero, but I said, it's a unique time we live in. Let me go and maybe put in my 2 cents, at least maybe entertain these guys for a week. So I just really, really wanted to do it, and I got it in my head that I wanted to do it, and I mentioned it on the air, and it grew from there. Jimmy Florentine was really the first guy that I picked. Dave Attell came to me. Now, Dave Attell is one of the greatest comedians ever. Dave came to me. He'd been to a bunch of these things. He loved doing it. So I said, yes, that just makes the tour better. And I needed one more comic, and Nick DiPaolo fit the bill, man. All these guys are guys that I think the military people might like. Real funny comics, and I love hanging with them off stage. So that's why I picked those guys.
Artie gave me a call. I guess he was allowed to bring over a bunch of comics to bring his own show over there. And, he gave me a call and said, look, you want to go over there, perform for the troops. It's going to be for about a week. It's no pay, but, it'll be a good thing to do. And I jumped right at it, man. I was really looking forward to doing it, man. I think it's just more about me and Artie feeling guilty because we're such scumbags, and it's our way of giving back.
Artie had talked about wanting to put together a bunch of comedians to go overseas to perform with the USO. And when I first heard him talk about it, I said, wow, that sounds really cool. Do you have all the guys that you have going? I would love to be the MC.
I didn't want to take anybody with kids. I didn't want to take anybody with bad breath. I didn't want to take anybody that was annoying and talked too much. I didn't want to take anybody who lived in Connecticut. I didn't want to take anybody who, tries to be a WASP and denounces his Italian roots. I didn't want to take anybody who some of the fans might be annoyed by, and I didn't want to take anybody who wasn't funny on stage. Unfortunately, Gary batted 1,000 with all those negatives, and came to me and said, hey, I want to come, and Gary's my boss, so I'm like, all right. I pretended on the air for 3 months like I didn't care, and apparently his kids don't care either. They said fine. I think his wife made sure the will was in order and said, go do it. And Gary came and annoyed all of us for a week.
I was a little bit nervous, but the USO and the people involved had pretty much told me that this was going to be safe. Of course, whenever you go to a war zone, there's always that danger.
I wasn't really worried about going over there. Look, those guys are over there. It's like, what are you going to do, man? It's, I went over there to just, entertain the troops and give them a few laughs. I wasn't worried about dying over there. I die on stage every night. What's the difference?
Clearly, I was nervous. Yeah, what are you going to do? But some people are heroes. I guess I'm one of them.
When I jumped on board, it was sort of decided that I would be the photographer / videographer. So the TV guys gave me a camera and said, take it, do your best, and get whatever you can. And so that's what I did. I left my house in Connecticut, took a car to Kennedy Airport. That's where I met up with Nick DiPaolo and Dave Attell.
The flight was me and Artie, because we're from Jersey, flew out of Newark. And so we were on a flight from Newark to Frankfurt, Germany. We're in Frankfurt, Germany, and Nick, Dave Attell, and Gary are not on this flight.
Attell are not on the flight. They might miss the plane. And if they miss the plane, Nick is going to punch out someone in Frankfurt, Germany. And then get the first flight back to New York, and I think me and good old Jim Florentine are going to have to do an hour each on stage, but we're ready.
Nick is going to cause an international crisis if he doesn't get on this phone plane. Right now, he's at the desk at Frankfurt, Germany, screaming at somebody.
This place needs a good douching. Everybody's got B.O. Guys standing, two dumb broads at the counter couldn't figure it out.
We're having a tough time today, huh? Got on the flight, went to Istanbul. We got to the airport. We only have like an hour and a half layover there.
We're in Istanbul right now, Turkey, heading to Kyrgyzstan.
Are we having fun yet, Nick?
This bus connected north.
It was a lot of just hanging out in the airports and just, messing around, trying to sleep. And these guys aren't here yet. So it looks like it's just me and Artie. I've only slept an hour. And I haven't dropped a douche yet. I'm crying.
The other guys were like, let's just stay here. We'll find those guys. I'm like, fuck that. I'm bored. So I went to the business class lounge. And when I walked in, Jim was there. Artie was laid out on his back, sleeping with his shirt up.
We were like the only Americans there. People walking in a business lounge, and these guys are in suits and stuff like that. They look at Artie, like, and then they just walked out, went to another section. They're like, I don't even know what that is. I'm not going near it. We had a guy, this guy Jeffrey used to be a Vietnam vet or whatever. He met us over in Frankfurt, Germany. He took us, he does the USO tour, so he pretty much handled everything from there.
So then from there, we got on the flight, and that flight was, I think, 5.5 hours to Kyrgyzstan. Big debate, by the way, over the pronunciation, Kyrgyzstan, but I've since learned that it's pronounced Kyrgyzstan, and that's in Russia.
Yeah, we got to Kyrgyzstan. That was the first night. We got in at like 4 in the morning. They put us in these barracks. It wasn't that bad. It was like 2 bunk beds, like being in prison. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I thought I was going to be sleeping in a tent like I was fucking camping with my friends in the middle of Jersey.
We stayed in a army barrack, so it wasn't that bad at all. Being on the road is great, as a comic, is great preparation for that shit. I wish half of the fucking hotels I stay at on the road had the water pressure those goddamn showers had.
I don't know if I was wired over the travel, or if I was wired over the excitement of being there, and then there's that whole thing that goes on when you know you only have X amount of hours to sleep, and then you're sitting there and you're going, all right, if I fall asleep in 10 minutes, I'll have slept for 4.5 hours.
It's like 5 in the morning here. I've been sitting in this room for 2 hours and I can't sleep, and I don't know if it's because I'm nervous about being here and doing the show tonight, or if I just can't sleep. And I took Ambien, I don't want to take another one. And I'm just sitting here twisting and turning, so I'm going to go out now and I guess walk around the base and try to get some rest. Try to get tired enough to go to bed. We have to be up in 4.5 hours. And I'm just sitting here laying in bed so nervous that I can't get to sleep.
It's 11 a.m. in Kazakhstan, and we're going to go tour the base. Artie's still sleeping. Show's at 6 p.m. We don't know if he's going to get up.
I had to sleep to get ready to give these guys a show. I'm a talent, you understand? So it was hard. I was tired, but I slept and I did it because I'm a hero.
When we got up, it was the middle of the afternoon, and that's when Jeff, who's our USO guy, just started taking us around.
And originally, I thought we were just going to do shows at night, the comedy shows, but they had us do these meet and greets all during the day. So pretty much we get up at 10 in the morning, do meet and greets for like 3, 4, or 5 hours, and then go rest for a couple hours and then do the show. What we did is went around to different guys who work on the planes and mechanics and all that shit. So that was basically our tour of the day.
Here I am in the cockpit of the plane. I'm like a 3-year-old. Dick, what are you doing?
I'm waiting to be tickled. This is the tickle chair. On Stern, they have this. This is where it is. Well, why don't you tell them this is for the Howard Stern TV? This is where they refuel the planes in flight. So the guy comes in here, he puts himself in a very prone position, and through just through his eye, he has to line it up with the jet, and it's a pretty hardcore job, man.
Holy smoke.
Yeah. So that goes down, and he said when you take off, you can see basically it looks like you're hitting the ground, and it's all done with you drop the boom, and it's like filling up your car, but at like 100 miles. How fast do they go? 500 miles an hour?
It's like 400 miles or something.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild. Not a drinking guy job.
Hey guys, how are we going to run a special on Howard TV when Artie's in none of the shots? I should just do like an Andy Warhol film where you just show Artie sleeping for 12 hours.
I slept till 4 p.m. today because I thought everybody else was like me and they were tired. Everybody else was up and at 'em today. And Jeff Anthony, the head of the USO, woke me up at 4. He said the show's at 6. So I said come back at 5.
Going to the show right now for a show, 6 o'clock. It's tough to tell dick jokes when it's light. Going to hit the green room at Peak Pub.
First show was at the base in Kyrgyzstan, inside a rec center. 500 people is what it sat. 800 people showed up.
I was nervous as hell because, again, I don't perform. It's not what I do. It's not my thing. In fact, I saw that as the worst part of the trip. Doing the 3 or 4 minutes of stand-up was the penance I had to pay to go on. I wanted to be on the trip and experience everything else. I'm so fucking nervous, you can't believe it. I really am. I know my first 4 jokes, but I'm just, you know what? I think I have a good crowd here, but Jesus, I hate doing this. I really do. I mean, I wanted to do everything that we've done here except this.
That's what we want to do too.
I know, but you guys are funny. So I got up and I did my thing, and it went okay. Artie said it went okay. I got a couple of laughs, and then the guys came up, and they're like, it's so hard to go up before them. There's 4 guys, the 4 of them together. probably have over 80 years of experience of comedy. Just 4 comedians that I think are unbelievably funny, that I have so much respect for.
The only rule we were going to follow that they gave us was no political jokes, no bashing Bush. He's the commander-in-chief. We got that. I didn't take any pussy liberal fucking comedians with me. None of us were bashing any commander-in-chief. We're not fucking Janine Garofalo. No Margaret Cho's on this fucking tour.
We know they wanted to hear the kind of material that we wanted to deliver to them, so we just did it. We didn't get in trouble. It was fine. But they loved it. I mean, we got a standing O right after the show. The place went berserk. We did a nice meet and greet afterwards, signed a bunch of pictures, met all the guys.
Good times, a great crowd. It was, nobody's uptight around here, I think.
No, he got away with a lot tonight.
Everybody was really cool.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we get the report card. Yeah, turn around and go home now. As long as you guys are happy, that's all that matters, really.
Everybody have a good time today?
After the show, we hung out for a couple more hours, and we had to get on a flight at 3 a.m. to go over to Kandahar, Afghanistan.
I think we ended up going over to this holding area at around 10:30 and ended up getting on the plane around 2 in the morning.
When we flew to Afghanistan, you fly at night because it has less of a chance of the plane getting shot down. So that's why the plane leaves at 3 a.m.
So on this plane that we went on, they put all the Army folks on the plane. Half the people on the plane had just seen us during the show. And people just knew us from the show, and so they were applauding and yelling Baba Booey, and then we sat down and we took the flight.
Operation Merge was going into Afghanistan after a very successful Kyrgyzstan show. We're catching a 3 a.m. flight. It's 3 a.m. now to Afghanistan, and it's Kandahar, right? Kandahar, yeah. Kandahar.
We landed in Kandahar probably around 4:30 in the morning, and I think by the time we got to the base, it was about 5:15. It was just getting light out, so we waited till 6 o'clock in the morning. We ate something, then we all stumbled over to our rooms and went to sleep till about 1:30 in the afternoon.
We couldn't really leave the base there, except for one day we went out and did a meet and greet with the Special Forces, which they're outside the base. So we took a ride out there, and it's really freaky, man, because it's all just dirt roads. There's all these old tanks from the Soviet War in the 80s just sitting in a field, all just broken up. And there's just like little friggin' flea markets and people just hanging out. It's like 110 degrees and it's dirty and it's dusty and it was pretty fucked up.
My impressions of the country of Afghanistan are, I do it on the show a lot. I go, oh, do we live in a shit country? Oh, we're from Afghanistan and it smells like shit. It's all dusty. That's the best impression I could do.
Probably one of the most exciting parts of the trip was we met the people who are involved with the Predators, the drones, which are the unmanned bombers that this country has.
This is fucking cool. That's what it is.
This one is what's called a Block 15, and it has it's got 2 nose cameras, so we can fly. You can avoid clouds or avoid other things.
They showed us these Hellfire bombs that they put on those drone planes, to drop on terrorists and stuff like that, and we signed it.
This is the bomb that's going to trigger.
So we all took turns signing the bombs. I wrote, Baba Booey, give him hell.
And then the colonel came back the next day, goes, hey, remember that bomb you guys signed? We killed 7 Taliban with that the next day, so it was really fucking cool.
Artie and I and the guys were standing around, and Artie had spoken to one of the soldiers who sort of gave us a heads up on what we do in case there's mortar fire.
This is a mortar bunker, I would assume, but it's for when mortar fire comes into the camp. Everybody lines up in here, and you stand on the sides, and you wait for the mortars to stop, and there's protection. And then you get like a bell, like, all clear, and you leave.
Hey, TJ, when was the last time you guys saw mortar fire here?
2 nights ago.
How, 2 nights ago? Yeah. Good, that means it's every 4th night.
Maybe we should just sleep in the bunker.
And that's when they first started to tell us about the infamous shit pond. People told us that there was a sewage treatment pond that was way too close to the base, and that when the wind blew the right way, you could smell it.
Everything we breathe in, they said, is 30% fecal matter.
Is that true?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
What? I didn't hear that.
Yummy.
Yeah. What, in the air? 30% fecal matter in the air. Everything you
Coming from where, though?
It's just
Coming from where?
it's
Coming
the air and
from the
everything
air.
because they cut down all the trees.
That means I gotta get a.
Well, the Russians cut down the trees in the war in the 80s because they were friggin' the Taliban or the fighters were hanging in trees and just sabotage them. So they cut all the trees, so there's basically no air here, no clean air.
Think about having a piece of shit under your nose for 24 hours a day with a hot hair dryer blowing air in your face. That's what Afghanistan is. It's fucking awful. No wonder those guys want to kill us. If I had a piece of shit under my nose for 24 hours a day, I want to blow people up too. I understand it now.
And it was grotesque, but we got through it because we're heroes, especially me.
And they call this company Hepatitis C. And we're going to have a show here. That's our second big show so far. The first one went great, and hopefully this one will go good. Watch you guys, you're about to go in a bunker.
Kandahar was a much different vibe than Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's not a war zone. It's an Air Force base. It's basically a transport station. It's where people go to be sent to here and to there. Kandahar is a war zone. So it was a different vibe right away.
So if there is a rocket attack, like there was in the Toby Keith concert, we're going to grab you off stage, and you're going to go behind that tan building. There's bunkers. We'll grab you, and we'll take you into those tan bunkers.
You get a picture of me fainting with that order?
If I'm not getting any laughs halfway through, could you do the same thing? just say there's a rocket attack.
I'll try my best. I'll do my best.
We hit 75 people. Grab you guys.
I mean, listen, you know
We're going
what?
to be causing the collateral damage.
Honestly, if there's a rocket attack, just make sure all you guys are fine. We're worthless.
It was a little nerve-wracking when they're telling us about these different attacks and what might happen and stuff like that. But then again, I mean, these guys are used to it, so I was pretty confident, man. I was like, we're in good hands with these guys because they were just like, they deal with this shit every day.
All right, second show in Kandahar, 7 p.m. show. It's 110 degrees, and we're performing outside.
It was 7 o'clock at night. It was hot. It smelled like shit. And 5 minutes before the show, there was like 10 people out there.
Artie, give me the lowdown. What's going on audience-wise here?
Well, apparently around here people have more important shit to do. I don't know. I think it was between this show or pushing the Taliban back into Pakistan. You know, look, we're here. We're going to do a fucking show no matter what.
We're like, oh my God, this is like the worst we've ever done. There's literally no one here to see us.
There was one guy just sitting right in the front in a chair with a laptop. And we're like, I mean, we were joking, like, that guy must be on SFN right now. He's starting a thread about our show, saying, you know, can't believe fucking Artie's wearing the same shirt as he wore on Letterman that time. By 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock when the show started, within 5 minutes, we had probably about 100 guys. You know, it was tough to, you know, the laughter is obviously not going to bounce all over because we're outside, but, you know, they really enjoyed it.
I'm Gary Delabate from the Howard Stern Show. You might recognize me by some of my nicknames. I'm known as Baba Booey. You know that name? Fafa Slowly, Mama Monkey, and Tata Tuthi, and Fafa Slowly, which is also coincidentally the name of the new Deputy Prime Minister of Iraq. Now, I'm sure you got excited when you heard the Howard Stern Show was coming. You thought to yourself, Howard Stern, strippers, porn stars, models. I got some bad news for you tonight. All you're going to get is 5 ugly guys telling dick jokes. Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah, that was my my least good set. You know, one of the first of all, calling what I did a set is almost, you know, it's crazy.
We took a helicopter over here, and they had us packed in tight. We're big guys too. We were packed in really tight. I'm not positive, but I think I might have accidentally joined the Mile High Club. Hey, by the way, if we're stuck in the desert, who's running hell?
For someone that doesn't do comedy and's got all that pressure, we were really proud of him. He did good.
I was talking to the guys today. I said, it's very hot here. It's hot here. It's like 145 degrees. I said, I'm going to die in this heat. They said, please do.
Gary was great. Most of the jokes he had written for him did well, but we just had to teach him when one doesn't do well, you can scrap it, because he did a couple of bad ones 2 shows in a row. But they loved him, man. You know, fans of the Stern Show, it was like meeting Elvis. They loved Gary. He was so nice at the meet and greet. And after he told his jokes, he said, look, here's all the info that's not comedy. And he was great at that. And he set us up brilliantly.
Let's give it up for Jimmy Florentine.
All right, give it up for Gary, doing a good job. Come on, give him a hand. That's like his 3rd time doing stand-up. He did a good job, right?
guess that means yes. No, he is, man. It's a tough job being a comic. I love it, man. It's my favorite job in the world. The only bad thing is people find you're a comedian, they always want you to be funny. Oh, you're a comedian, tell me a joke. I don't get that. They're asking me what I do for a living to do it right there on the spot. Like, no other job would that happen. I never did a party one time. I go, sir, what do you do for a living? He goes, I'm a chef. Really? Go make me a cheeseburger in the kitchen. Come on, hurry up. I'm fucking hungry. Put a hat on, will you?
Jimmy always did great. He destroyed. Nick, I've never seen do bad in my life, and that continues. He killed. The people love Nick.
I'm going to Montreal next week. They love me up there. 6 French people, 2 teeth. Drinking Labatt's. Trying to get me the finger. They can't figure out which one. It's fucking great. I'm kidding. Coalition forces, all right?
Look, Attell is just, any comic will tell you he's the best ever, and I've never seen him bomb. He can adjust to any situation, and this is like his 5th tour, Attell.
I like to drink, but, I've done some other shit too. Porn would be nice at this moment, but, I'm afraid to even go near my dick with these predators circling around. I don't want to end up on someone's YouTube site, look at this ball freak trying to jerk it. I did see the one, and I'm sure you guys have all seen it, about the 2 dudes and the mule, and I think that's cool. Because I think a man should bang a mule. Because when you fuck a mule, you always have a ride home. And I think that's great. Put a hat on him, it looks like he wants it. So, too much? All right, you're right. Anyway.
And then Artie's got to do like 35, 40 minutes after us. So he's got a tough time,
I was fantastic. I'm a funny hero.
I'm eating shit right now. You realize all of us are now eating shit. What does shit look like when you shit it out? You shit out like a cheeseburger deluxe or something?
The show went great, but then when we left, we were going to the meet and greet, and 20 seconds into that ride, the sirens go off, and they said we're under mortar fire.
It's just a mortar attack. Some kind of bombing. We got to go to a friggin'...
That's right. That sound means incoming rounds.
Incoming rounds are coming, and we got to go to a bunker. We're going to a bunker right now.
You hear the sirens right away, and they're like the sirens you hear when you watch a movie and people are being bombed. They're not like, they're scary sirens.
So what is this that's going on right now?
I don't know.
But what's the siren supposed to mean? What's up, man? I want to hang, but I'm going to the bunker.
People always say, what would you think about, what do you think you would think about right before you know you're going to die? And the only thing I'm thinking, all right, if I shit my pants right now, because I'm really scared, at least I can blame the smell in the air, in the shit air. So, they'll be like, oh man, it's the fucking shit pond. I can't believe it. That's all I was thinking.
We're in a bunker and there's a mortar fire towards, I don't know what the fuck's going on. We just finished the show though. Thank God we got all those awful jokes in.
And then, we were in the bunker, and then we were just cracking jokes the whole time for like 45 minutes, like, whatever. Like, hey, if we die, it's probably pretty cool that we were, performing for the military. We got killed over there instead of a drug overdose or AIDS, like most of us might go down by. Looks like we're safe, right?
We're safe. Yeah, we made it.
We had a 20-minute delay. It might have fucked up our meet and greet, but...
No, I think we did too. We'll definitely do it.
Yeah, we're going to still check, but yeah, we're out of the bunker and off to Pizza Hut. Nice.
We went and did a meet and greet after we got out of our bunker, and that was great.
We're at the meet and greet right after the mortar attack, and it's about 20 soldiers. And we're blaming it because of the mortar attack, and no one wants to come out. We don't know if it was because of our sets or the mortar attacks. We're blaming on the mortar attack.
Artie, what'd you think of the mortar attacks?
My first reaction to that was, wow.
Nick, how are you handling mortar attacks?
Mortar attack? No, I tell you, it's funny, like when you got a bunch of these soldiers around you with guns, they're giggling and laughing, and they seem like, everything's fine. You feel safer. That's what made me feel safe.
Yeah, I wasn't nervous because they weren't nervous. Hey guys, say hello.
How you liking that again?
Oh, it smells great. Say hi to Howard TV.
We finished that, we went to sleep, and then we got up the next morning, and that was when we knew we were going to take that trip to go out to our 3rd show, which was about 150 miles north of Kandahar. We were taking Black Hawk helicopters, We're going to what they call an FOB, forward operating base.
I'm going in the war zone today. Taking some Black Hawk helicopters to 2 different locations in the middle of nowhere to perform for 30 troops in one spot and 80 in the other. No air conditioning, no nothing. It's gonna be fucking awesome. We have to wear long pants and a long shirt on the helicopter. It's a military helicopter, and it's gonna be about 120 degrees. I'm psyched. Nice.
So the night before we went to north of Kandahar and the Blackhawks, we all got fitted for our flak jackets and our helmets.
This piece out here, do not pull this piece, okay? Do not pull that piece. Do not use that to carry it. Right, carry it like that. Do not carry it by that, it'll come apart.
Oh God, thank God you told us that. That's the most obvious place to care. The body armor demonstration was given to us by Jeff Anthony, who was with us the whole way, former Vietnam vet, well, current Vietnam vet, but former Marine, great guy, Jeff Anthony, black guy, but a great guy.
Once you're at a base and you fly in and you see the soldiers and stuff like that, you're like, oh, this is cool. But then once you start putting body armor on, you realize you're in a fucking war zone, man. It was pretty like, holy shit. We need to wear this stuff, you know? So I had no idea to put it on. I'm fucking retarded. I never had that stuff on before.
And it was embarrassing because I'm a little heavier and, you know, they made jokes.
Okay, and then there are adjustments on the side. This will work with you.
What does that mean, Jim? Both cameras.
We extended some front to rear.
We have a armored poncho.
That's the headliner, Jeff. You could have told me that in private. Reveille's at 0500. And we're going to get up. We're going to have a locker box inspection. And then we're going to run 10 miles, rain or shine. I'm a heroin addict, as you all know. That's a heroin sign for, like, Semper Fi. And I was in where they call Afghanistan the start of the heroin trail. When I was performing, I saw mountains, and over the mountains were poppy fields. You know what, guys? We're in Afghanistan, where the heroin trade begins. And right over those mountains over there is a whole bunch of fresh poppy. Not that I care. I'm all about professionalism, but I would love to just maybe like set it on fire and just fly over sniffing a little bit, see what happens, do a little like black tar type shit. But we're here to fight the Taliban.
With our dick jokes.
With our dick jokes.
All right, we're going out to the airfield right now. Get briefed on the fucking helicopter.
You have to notice this box right here, flares. It's part of our countermeasure system. When they go off, you'll be able to feel it inside the helicopter. Won't be alarmed. It's part of our. It's good. It's good stuff. Tail rotor, bad. Stay away from it because it likes to cut people in many different pieces. Very hot exhaust, about 400 degrees or so. We have 2 machine guns. They have 7.62 ammo. I mean, if you have to use them, if you can learn that fast, congratulations.
All right.
We all have 9mm sidearms and M4 rifles. So
you guys are like a rap.
You guys win.
Oh, motherfucker.
Battle of
What you gotta say?
You guys are either in the Army or the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes. In the event of a crash, I want you to stay inside the helicopter unless we have a fuel leak, which you'll smell, fire, or searing hot oil dripping down from the aircraft. At which point in time, you'll exit the aircraft, keeping in mind that the blades will still continue to turn. If you have to crawl out, that's cool. Our emergency exits are all currently removed, so if you can't get the door open, you can crawl out the window. Even you can fit, I promise. So.
Boy, everybody is just, I'm getting singled out. Safer already. I mean, some of the best soldiers in history had a few pounds on them, pal.
We took the Black Hawk helicopters from Kandahar about 130 miles north to this forward operating base. You have to wear the headphones with a little microphone on it, and you can hear what the pilot's talking about. And the trip out there is amazing. You're flying over the desert. You just realize it's one of the oldest parts of the world, and you realize like not a hell of a lot has changed in 1,500 years. The other thing that was really interesting is you're flying and it's like it's a desert, it's a desert, it's a desert, and then all of a sudden you can see there's like greenery, like almost like somebody planted sod. These people are the masters of irrigation. What they'll do is they'll dig these holes that are called spider holes that are used for irrigation, which is great. The downside is that they're also used to get up into the mountains, and that's where a lot of the Taliban travel through, and that's why we're having such a difficult time, because they're in the mountains. They're dealing with people who are living inside of mountains and holes inside of mountains, who've been there for hundreds of years and know how to operate through all this.
It was fun. We shot guns and stuff. Me and Gary both shot, I think, AK-47s out the side of the helicopter into the desert, and we didn't hit anything, but it was fun. I said to the kid, what if I hit a Taliban guy by mistake? And he said, that's one less fucker I gotta kill. Loved them.
Firing the machine guns is one of the greatest experiences of my life. There's something very primal about just fucking, letting it go. I dug it, man. I think about it all the time. The way it was told to us was, you know what? This is really going to be a great show. These guys don't get anything. They don't get to see anybody. So we knew we were potentially playing to a very small audience, but the way it was described to us was going to be a very grateful audience.
Here's where we're performing. We're at, I don't know what base in Afghanistan, and we're going to perform right here. Here's the stage.
The last show went great. That was in a very remote part of Afghanistan. 80 guys on special ops, and they really, really were excited to see us. Very grateful. They all gave us big hugs because not a lot of guys go out there. It felt great after that show. They were like, wow, we can't believe you came here.
Stay safe, be well. I love you. Take care.
Let's hear it for you guys.
After we finished the show at the forward operating base, we were supposed to go back to the Blackhawks and get back in them and go about 30 miles past that to a base of about 30 people.
The last show, we were going to go to an even more remote spot for less guys.
We're going back on the Blackhawks to do our last show.
But unfortunately, we couldn't because the Blackhawk helicopters that we took there, to get to this even more remote spot, they had to be escorted by Apache helicopters. That's how dangerous it was. And the Apache helicopters had a mechanical problem, so they could not make it.
The fourth show we were supposed to do is in a place that's so far out that it's extra. Where we are right now is extra dangerous. This is dangerous times 50. And we couldn't get an Apache helicopter to escort us there. So they canceled it. They said, we can't let you go without an Apache helicopter. So we did 3 of the 4 shows, and they were kick-ass. But I tell you, those guys are out there fighting now, and they're not taking us out there to protect us. But I fucking really wanted to go to that far-out place because they really deserve it, those guys. I hear they're like, they haven't seen people in forever. We were going to do a show for only like 30 people who've been there, and their faces are dirty. People are saying it's like Oliver. They're just happy to see any American. So I wanted to go. I would have risked it, but I think we all would have, but they're doing the smart thing.
We were really disappointed. I thought that was going to be the experience of a lifetime to be out there and see what those guys see and be able to entertain those guys. We were disappointed.
We were bummed that we couldn't do that last show for those guys. Because this was really way out there. It was only going to be about 14 guys. So we're really pumped to go do that one.
So now we're going to leave. We finish those shows. We go back to the base. Now we're going to leave the next morning. We're all going to get a good night's sleep. They got us up at like 7 in the morning. 8 o'clock we have breakfast. 9 o'clock over to the airport.
It's our last day here in Kandahar. We're going home. It's 9 a.m. We have 5 flights to catch today to get back home.
Now we're at this airport, and it's fucking hot. And it's like 130 degrees outside. And it's boring. It's tedious. You see what these soldiers go through. All the soldiers are sitting there waiting for their plane. We all started playing poker for a while, and we got sort of bored with that. And we've been there since 9 in the morning. Now it's like 2 in the afternoon. Now they're going to put us on the plane. This plane they put us on first. They're called C-130s, and these are like the shittiest planes the Army has to offer. And everybody's rap is sort of like, you got to fly on one of these once just to say you did it, because this is like the plane. We landed in Bagram, and we got off the plane.
Right now we're in Bagram, Afghanistan.
Oh, how exciting.
Home of fun and
Mirth.
mirth.
Home of mirth. Look at the mountains.
A lot of fighting and shit stuff.
Jeff from the USO said, hey, I'd really like you to come over and see this USO Center. It's the nicest USO Center in the world. It's the Pat Tillman USO Center. The NFL funds it.
The NFL just bought the whole place for him and just, you know, put that up in the memory of Pat Tillman, which was awesome.
Pat Tillman was on the Arizona Cardinals, and I believe he was from Arizona. He had a lot to do with Arizona. And the day he died, I had a gig at the Improv in Tempe, Arizona that day. And as I was going on stage, Dan Meyer, who ran the place, said at the end, maybe mention something about Tillman, it'd be nice. So at the end of my set, I mentioned, hey man, let's do a shot to Pat Tillman. And it was a 5-minute, literally a 5, maybe longer, 5-minute standing ovation. People were crying. It was like one of the most emotional things I had ever seen. In all 4 of my shows, the same exact thing happened. So I was in Arizona at the time, and he was just loved there and loved everywhere, obviously. And it's good to see his jersey from the Cardinals framed here, and that the NFL built this. It's really a special thing, and it's, you know, an honor to be here. This has been an amazing trip, and this is a great way to sort of end it, you know.
It was an amazing experience, and when I first got back, I wouldn't say that it was life-changing. And I still don't know that it has been life-changing. But I will tell you, it's something that I think about every day. You know, I just think about things that happen, small things, big things. I think about the trip a lot. It was an unbelievably positive experience. And maybe as time goes by, maybe I will see it as a life-changing experience.
The whole thing was a success. The USO, Jeff Anthony, and this woman, Tracy Theed at the USO, who I dealt with, they called my agent and said, their words, they said this was a smashing success, unbelievably great. So that makes me very proud. That's probably the proudest thing that's ever happened to me in my career. And I'm thankful Gary, Jimmy, Nick, and Dave were a part of it. And the guy, Jeff Anthony, all kidding aside from the USO, Jeff is unbelievable. Great guy, helped us feel safer, and he's a Vietnam vet, man. A lifetime guy who is a true hero, Jeff Anthony.
I can't tell you how many people came by and said, you know, we couldn't make it to the show last night, but I just want to thank you for coming. Or I don't really listen to the Howard Stern show, but hey, thank you for coming. And that was really the best part. People were just grateful we were there.
You just realize how much, you know, they have no entertainment, no nothing over there. For us to go over there and do that, man, means a lot to them. So it's just a good way of giving back, man. And after, you know, you have to take and for all these years as comics. You know, it's nice to get back when you can. So I'm looking forward to going back. And hopefully next time they'll book me on Continental so I get some of my frequent flyer miles.
I always had great regard for the people over there, but now I have even more regard for them. We were there for a week, and it really was a sacrifice. A week of vacation we took to go over there, and we consider that a sacrifice. It just made me be even more appreciative of those people. I love them, and I gave my number to a lot of them, and I hope that they call me, because I'd love to hang out with them, although that's probably not going to happen because I gave them a fake number. So if that fake number happens to be someone I know by coincidence, and that person tells me some guy called Black Kid that was a Marine, he gave him my number by mistake, I'll have to just, I don't know, just not react to it. Just hope the kid never calls back.